So I wanted to do a little morning reflection. I yesterday or this week somebody shared their story with something that they had experienced in their life, and it was something that I had already known about. Someone else in this group of acquaintances had already told me that this person experienced this, and I saw this person speak her truth about it on social media. And it was something I didn't think that she was going to talk about. But when I did see that she opened up and talked about it with her following, she got like an outpour of like support. Like the reel that she had posted talking about this specific experience actually went viral. And I was talking with her about it this morning, and I was telling her how I was so happy that she decided to share that piece of her journey, because I had already known about it and it like affected me. And I was just really happy to see that she had the strength to show up and talk about it like with others, with the public. And when she did, it ended up going viral, and it really resonated with a lot of people. And it got me thinking about my personal journey and my personal gift of vulnerability. And as you guys know, over the past couple of years, I've been very vulnerable on my YouTube channel. I've talked a lot about some deep, dark things. I haven't told you guys everything about me, but I do talk about stuff that, a lot of people wouldn't dare share with strangers. And I wanted to talk about how it is been so healing for me to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to be open and talk about my true experiences. And I've also been able to connect with really amazing people through my social media platforms because of my vulnerability. I've connected with people in Australia and India, Germany. I've connected with people all over the world. And just because I've decided that I wanted to open up and share my story. And the other week I was talking to this gentleman who had reached out to me on Instagram, and he had told me he was from Dallas and his sister was looking for an apartment, and we ended up getting on the phone, and he honestly, it sounded like he was about to be in tears, telling me how much my personal journey has affected him, and that it was very powerful for him, and how long he's been following me, and how much he feels like he knows me, and just thanking me for posting my journey. And I've had that experience a lot with a lot of strangers. It's true when they say that strangers support you more than your quote unquote friends, people that you think are in your circle. I've had so many strangers support me, and it's just been really beautiful by just sharing my story. And I wanted today to talk about just I've seen this full circle now with the impact I've had from sharing my story and how it impacted other people. And also I've had it on the flip side of seeing someone else share their story and knowing how much it was impactful for me. And I wanted to make a video about I know a lot of us struggle with vulnerability. A lot of us want to show up online or in our circles or at work, being a strong front, acting like nothing can rock us, nothing's affected us, all of that. And I do think there's a piece of that I understand, but because I used to be like that. I wanted people to feel like I had it all together. I wanted people to respect me, to feel like I was strong, all of this stuff. But what I found is I received that way more when I started showing my true authentic self, my true colors, my story, my struggles, my pains, all of that. I started developing way more, manifesting way more love in my life and way more connections with just strangers, my acquaintances, all of that. Honestly, the people that fell away from my life when I started showing up as myself really, like, I'm grateful that those people fell away. And the people that stayed in my life, those relationships got so much closer. So I wanted to just talk about, like, there is such a meaningful level of connection when we start sharing our stories with, like, people that we know or even just complete strangers. Like, I've sat in retreat centers where, you know, we did open, like, circle discussions with like 20 people, and just being able to hear other people share their stories, or other people share like their biggest insecurities or their biggest setbacks. Like, even sitting in a circle in Thailand of like 15 people, and you have people from all over the world, like people from Cambodia, people from Germany, people from Italy, people from Spain, people from the US. Like, you literally have people from everywhere. And to hear everyone, no matter like what culture they come from, like, to hear the fact that like we pretty much all struggle with the same exact things. And the more that we can like be open and be vulnerable and share with others, like, it just builds so much more connection and so much harmony in our communities. And our community doesn't even have to be locally where we live. It can be like our online communities. I personally, like, I've had several people over the past couple of weeks like reach out to me and ask about, you know, wanting to have like community with other like-minded people. And it like was something that I always envisioned, that I would hold space and like have community of some sort online. And, you know, just after kind of like the past couple of weeks and like having people reach out asking about if I ever would consider hosting a community, or seeing the way that like my personal journey or other people's personal journeys have been like very impactful, like, it just has kind of pushed me more to understanding that like it's so important to be in community with people, like, so important. And it doesn't have to be community with people that like where you live. It can be community virtually. The majority of my circle of friends, none of them live near me. They live in different states. They live in different countries. Like, our communities can look like so many different things, but by being able to connect with one another and being able to see like our struggles, the paths that we're on currently, because being vulnerable doesn't even have to be like what's happened in the past. It can be where you're at presently. Like, I think it's also important to note that like we don't want to hold on to certain stories about ourselves or about our lives. I know I've been guilty of that, where I've been like, oh, well, this is my story. This is who I am. This is why I am the way that I am. And it's like, it's important to not hold on and like make our stories of our lives become our identity. But to some degree, it can be beneficial to be able to connect with others and be able to help shape other people's perspectives too. I know by me being able to observe like this acquaintance, this friend of mine, how she's handled her personal experience that I had known about, that I saw her post about, like, it's been able to help me like shape my perspective. And it was able to help me realize like, wow, that really impacted me, because this actually triggered something in me that I'm personally dealing with that has nothing to do with even her own experience. So I just wanted to make a video today about the importance of being vulnerable, building community, and just like how impactful it can be for your own healing and also for other people's healings. Like, they say, like, we're not just doing healing for ourselves. We're doing healing for like our communities and just like the overall like conscious of the world. So this is just something that I wanted to share today. If you guys are interested in joining my little like, I think I'm going to do it like once a month, like an online just group call on Zoom. If you're interested, just go to my website. It's jordanxrise.com. And it's under like monthly community call or something. But if you're interested in that, definitely go to my website. I want to know like what have you shared, like in the comments below, what have you shared that has like come full circle, or that somebody has reached out and been like, hey, that really impacted me? Like, what places have you been vulnerable that has like been able to be a gift to somebody else? Let me know in the comments.